You're restoring me piece by piece.
What's up, my Restored Beauties? Welcome back to my channel. On my last video, we shared and discussed about 7 deadly habits that destroy our marriage. Today we're going to talk about how to eliminate each one of them one by one. If you're interested in making your marriage work, then keep on watching. But before we get into today's topic, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button so you are notified every time I upload a new video. One of the first habits that we mentioned last time that is a deadly habit that destroys marriage is blaming. So today we're going to talk about blaming in depth. I mean, it's okay to know all of these habits, but sometimes you just know them and then you go on with your life and you forget. But if you actually know each one of them in depth and know where they come from, the source, why you do them, why you act on them, why you practice them, if you actually know, then you know how to get around in eliminating them. That is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tackle each one of them, each of these 7 habits, and how to eliminate them. So every video I will be talking about them in depth, in more depth, because in the end, knowledge is power, but power not exercised is not power. So blaming is when you are constantly we're talking about blaming our spouses. We're talking about the habit of blame in marriage, okay? We're not talking about any other relationship. We're only talking about marriage for now. So blaming is when you point your finger at your spouse. You know, you're always pointing their negative side, their mistakes, their flaws, and you're always pointing out their negativity instead of their positive side. So how do we eliminate this bad habit? Remember my last video, I said that many researchers have concluded, and also scientifically it's proven, that in order to break or build a new habit, it takes about 21 days or more. So we want to break the habit of blame by building a new habit, one that is good. Even if you think that pointing your finger at your spouse or blaming them, it's what they deserve, still it comes out as an emotional immaturity from your side. If you or your spouse says these things constantly, you know that blame is being thrown around and it can ruin your relationship. You're too sensitive, you never do the dishes, you never listen to me, you need to change. So all you hear during a conversation of blame is you. It's always the other person's fault. Before you start to blame your spouse, take a step back and recognize that you are about to engage in the habit of blame. Here are some tips and ideas on how to stop blaming your spouse at all times. Breathe. Think before you talk. Recognize if you're wrong. Don't belittle your spouse. Reward them. Apologize. Focus on learning. Stay away from public shaming. So number 1 was breathe. Okay, this is how you eliminate we're talking about tips in how to eliminate the habit of blame. Okay, first of all, breathe. Take a deep breath before you open that beautiful mouth of yours. Cool down, otherwise fire will come out of you, and most likely both of you will get burned. Number 2, recognize your own mistakes. Own up to your mistakes. If you're wrong, admit it and move on. Don't belittle your spouse before others by blaming them for their past failures, for your unhappiness. No one is responsible for our acts besides us, ourselves. And no one is to be blamed for our happiness or unhappiness. 4, reward them. Reward your spouse when they do something, when they make a mistake, with positive words, or a pat on the back, or an encouragement. apologize. Even if you do the blame, or if you're blaming, you're pointing a finger, take a step back and apologize for what you did, because forgiveness heals everything. Focus on learning. Focus on what you both can learn from this mistake, or the mistakes that you are blaming your spouse, or the failure or the situation that you are both going through. So focus on what you can learn from it, you know, not just, you know, sit there and blah 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 blah, you know, you did this, no, it's your fault, no, it's your fault. Just, you know, think about what you can learn from that situation and move on, so that next time that situation presents itself, you are more equipped, you have knowledge, you are you know what to do, you know how to respond, you know how to react, you know. So even failures and mistakes are good when they happen in our life, because we can learn from them. Because how else are you going to learn in life, you know, if you don't fall, if you don't make mistakes? And also learn to not bring them up, you know, every time that, you know, something reminds you of what happened, what that person did, don't remind them. If you said that you forgave them, don't remind them. Never blame your spouse in public, no matter how much they deserve it, okay? Think about you. How would you feel if you were in their shoes? Even if you think that your spouse deserves to be blamed, never do it in public. Don't go on Facebook telling people this is what your spouse did. Oh my God, I can't believe he did this, or I can't believe she did this, or she said that, or whatever. Don't go on Facebook or on Instagram, you know. Those stuff need to be dealt in private, behind closed doors. No one needs to know your private life, okay? No one. So don't put it out on social media, because it will only make matters worse, you know, because now you're adding to yourself, you know, more things to be blamed. You know, now your spouse is gonna blame you. Why you put that there? Why couldn't you just come to me? Why you had to go behind and tell your friends this and that? Talk to each other. Because no one likes to be blamed and shamed in public. It only brings resentment and anger. Remember, we are not judges, okay? We're human beings. We make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone blames or has blamed their spouse sometime or another in their life. But the point is here, what I'm trying to give you guys, what I'm trying to bring across is that no one is perfect, you know. And when you find yourself that you're about to engage into that habit of blaming, take a step back, you know, take a deep breath and see the situation from a different angle. Pray about it, think about it, you know. Don't just get up there and point your finger, because it's easy to always see other people's faults and mistakes, and because you're sitting from an angle and where you think that, you know, you're perfect. Oh, I would never do that. Or trust me, every time we say I will never do that, you end up doing that. Maybe not now, but 20 years from now, you do. I've had that happen to me. Many times I've said, oh, I would never do that. 20 years after or 10 years after, I found myself doing it or saying something that I said before, oh, I will never say. So, having said this, sharing all of this stuff with you guys, it doesn't mean that I'm perfect, or that I have actually learned, or I have perfected this habit. It just means that I used to do it. I used to do it a lot, and I know what it is. I know how it makes you feel. I know how bad it is. I know how it will ruin your relationship with your spouse, and I know that it has a bad ending, you know, and it will eventually break you inside, you know. So I've learned, with God's help, every single day, you know, to just keep the finger, you know, point the finger first at me, you know, and examine me, myself, you know, my mistakes, my flaws, you know, and before I point my finger at somebody. But I'm not saying that, you know, you should. just think about it. You know, we all have mistakes, we all have faults, we all have something somebody could actually blame us for, but just educate yourself and learn every single day that and know that it's possible to come out of this habit, you know, if you actually put effort every single day, you know, because new habits take time, you know, take time to adjust, you know, just like just buying a pair of shoes. They might be a little tight, you know, they might hurt you a little bit in the beginning, but as you wear them and you wear them and you wear them, they will fit you perfectly to your size, to your foot, and eventually you will feel comfortable. So that's exactly how it is when we try to acquire or build a new habit in our life. And and it's the same with the habit of blame. You know, learn to just not point your finger at nobody, whether your spouse or whoever it is. You know, first you examine yourself, see how perfect you are, and then, you know, maybe you're ready to blame somebody. But don't do it anyway. Even if you think you're perfect, or even if you have examined yourself, don't do it. I've learned all this stuff the hard way, but I'm happy that I did, because I don't want to be 60 and still having not acquired this habit. I want to build good habits every single day, but they're only built if you practice them every day. And this way you have no room, no time, no effort left for the bad ones, and eventually the bad habits will break itself, you know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this material, this topic. If you did, I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up, share it, because sharing is caring. Also join this channel and hit the bell button. This way you're notified every time I upload a new video. And follow me on all my social media. I will list everything in the description below. On my next video, I will be talking about the number 2 habit that destroys a marriage and how to eliminate it, which is criticizing. Okay? And I know that we all do it. Be blessed. Bye.